Good afternoon, live from Toronto on the GBKM network, and welcome to the Chat Up Show, the show where we catch you up with a chat up of our weekly headlines. I'm your host, Elizabeth Eloidy, and I hope that you are ready to chat it up with me today. Now, as always, you can keep up with the GBKM network in various ways. You can listen and watch live at 24/7 at www.gbkm.fm or www.gbkm.tv, where you can also like, share, comment, and share the videos and watch any past shows that you may have missed, or check out which upcoming shows you do not want to miss. Or if you want to learn more about our very special on-air personalities, you can also do so. Again, that is at www.gbkm.fm or www.gbkm.tv. You can also continue to watch us live on Facebook at GBKM Television and YouTube, where you can subscribe, like, share, comment, all of that good stuff at GBKM TV. You can follow us on Instagram at GBKM FM and Twitter at GBKM_FM. And I want to say thank you to our official Chat Up Show sponsors, Coded Signature, which is a Nigerian-owned, locally based brand that gives you all the Afrocentric apparel and accessories that you could ever want. Just like this Queen Idia of Benin hat that is on display with our lovely mannequin here. We're still figuring out a name for this beautiful mannequin that is sporting this gorgeous hat that you can get for yourself at codedsignature.com. That's coded with a K. You can also use the code GBKM at checkout for 10% off your purchase. And do not worry, they do ship worldwide, so location does not matter. So if you want to copy yourself a Coded Signature hat or any of the apparel, you can go to codedsignature.com. That's coded with a K. Or check them out on Facebook and Instagram at Coded Signature. Now, we're back. It's another week. And I can say that winter is basically here. Temperatures have dropped. We're going to probably see some snowfall anytime soon. Holiday season's around the corner. We're excited, but it's a little different this year because we're all probably going to be stuck at home. So it's important that we remember to do things that just keep us sane, keep us active, moving our bodies around, stretching if we can, go outside for a safe walk. Of course, trying to get as much sunlight as possible. You know, the days are getting shorter, it's getting darker earlier. Remembering to stay hydrated, just all these little things that we can ensure that we are staying fully healthy and tip-top shape as we navigate the next few months, uncertain of whether we're going to have another lockdown or not. But we know right now in Toronto, we are under an amended red zone. So it's important that we just continue to stay safe and healthy as much as possible. Now, with that being said, the topic for today's discussion is one that I find quite interesting, I will say, as a woman. And it's a topic that I've had discussions about with many different women from different walks of life in my life. And that's the topic of feminism and whether modern day feminism is toxic. Now, I know that word toxic has such a negative connotation. It seems so heavy. It seems so radical and extreme. But these are the thoughts of some people, you know, when they think of the feminist movement, they find that a lot of the traits aren't really looking for equality or balance in life. And instead, it's just another toxic display of gender roles, if you will. But of course, this isn't a conversation that I can have with myself, and I'm so happy and excited that I'm going to have a very special guest here with me today to discuss this. Now, our guest and topic, in fact, is inspired by our guest on today. On her show, right here on the GBKM network that airs live every Friday at 10:30, the Omodede Show. We have the host herself, Omodede, joining us today, virtually of course, from Toronto in the GBKM studio. So how are you doing today, Omo?
I am doing great, and thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. You know, it's always a little difficult trying to get everybody together, you know, in these times that we're not seeing each other as frequently, but just having the moment to be here to talk to you, you know, you're 2 shows in. How does it feel to officially be part of the GBKM family here on the network?
Thank you so much. First, I just want to thank you for having me, and As you can see, I couldn't be there today because I've been under the weather a little bit myself.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to be safe and stay at home. So I couldn't be there with you. So I would have loved to come and chat up with you on your show. I'm loving it at the GBKMFM. It's like a family, like you yourself. You are like a sister to me now.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to be here with you.
Thank you so much. Now, watching your show last week, there was something that really sparked, I guess, inspired me to have you on today, especially just to talk about your work and all that you're doing. And we're going to get onto what happened in the show earlier in that discussion. But first, I want to just hear a little bit more about who you are, and as someone who is all about female empowerment, especially in the work that you're doing on your media platform, Africa Connect. I kind of want to get a little bit of a backstory about how you started Africa Connect as the founder and CEO, and what your hope is for the platform overall and the changes you'd like to see in the world through this platform.
Um, Thank you for that question. And I actually got I always said to everybody, I'm a village girl. I started from a little town, a beautiful town called Uromi, Edo State in Nigeria. Um, Growing up, growing up, we didn't really know what is advocacy. We never had this opportunity or having somebody come to advocate for women in my town. If you know anything about Edo State, if anybody say anything about Edo State, one thing that people always say they kind of associate with us is prostitution, is women going to Italy. I had to watch my friends that I grew up with, that I play with every day, being shipped out to Italy. Sometimes I go to school. When we come back, a friend that I went to school with, going back to her house in the evening to play, she's no longer at home anymore. She's not home anymore. She's not there anymore. And um, it really affected me as a girl, because we were like a family, a close knit when growing up. Like, I don't know if you grew up in a village. We always come outside in the evening when the moon is up. We play. There was a time that wasn't happening anymore because most of my friends that I grew up with were all shipped out. We're
Wow.
all trafficked out. I should say trafficked. They're all trafficked out of my town. So he let something that avoiding me, that I was always questioning what was going on. I was always questioning what was going on with to my friends, because we didn't know what was going on. Nobody tells us anything. All you know, she's no longer there anymore. So I got opportunity when I was growing up. Then when I got opportunity to go to the United States, I would say my first the first woman I met in the United States, her name is Mandela Cooper. She's from Liberia. She's one woman that have taught me so much about advocacy. She's one woman that have stood and fought for a lot of young women. She has a Mandela Cooper Foundation. She just took me in her wings, and she taught me so much that she know about advocacy for women.
Right.
So that really gave me the wings to make sure that I speak out for what I believe in. And for me as a woman, looking back to where I started from, how sex trafficking,
Yeah.
human trafficking ravaged my hometown, is something that I want to put my voice to. It's something that I want to stop. I will continue to still fight against it to today, and to see where we go from there, because there's still a lot of young women
Yeah.
back in my hometown that are still going through the same thing that I experienced. You know, so if I cannot speak out against it now, that would be a betrayal to so many people that were not able to make it out as me.
Wow. Wow, that's an inspiring story. I mean, I can't even imagine the toll it had on you as a child watching this happen so close to home for you. And I mean, the conversation around human trafficking and even sex trafficking as well has been something that's been going on for so long. For so many committees are trying to come together to put an end to it, and yet it still feels like there's still so much unknown about just how deep it is and how many people
Yeah.
are affected by it on a daily basis. There was a new movie actually that was released on Netflix, Oloture. I don't know if you watched it or heard of it, and it was based on a story of a journalist who did an undercover investigation of a human trafficking ring that was happening in Nigeria. And in the movie itself, it's loosely based on this real story, but in the movie it seems like the ending, I'm not going to spoil it for anyone out there, but it felt like the ending was almost too realistic, and it, you know, it hits home because it's like this is the reality for a lot of people, is that there's not always a way out. And the more we speak out about it, the more advocacy, as you say, we see of it, especially, then maybe that's a step in the right direction. Would you agree?
Yeah, any like I would say any movie of sex of human trafficking, I don't really watch because I lived in the movie. It was
Yeah.
like it was easy. I lived in that movie because it's not a movie for me. I lived the reality of it, you know. And to me, watching it, it kind of bring back
Triggering.
some memories that I don't want to relive anymore. Sometimes when I thank God for social media, but sometimes when trying to trace back those girls that you grew up with and just to know where they are today, and speaking to so many of them, there are some that were not able to go to school. There's some that the story they tell me is horrible. As young as, I'm telling you, as young as 14 years old, 14, they were all gone.
Wow.
And they can, right now, most of them, they can speak English, they speak Italian, because that's what, that because they were so young getting there. There's no English, there's no education. Most of them got married. There are some that were deported back to Nigeria, and no, when they deport you back to Nigeria, when there is no foundation of education there, what are you supposed to do? You know, and it is a sad cycle that we live in. So I don't watch any movie of human trafficking, sorry to say, because
Yeah.
I lived it, you know.
That's understandable. So, in your advocacy, would you then call yourself a feminist?
Yeah, I don't like to use the word feminist. I just want to say I am a woman, and I have a voice, and I don't use the word feminist. I just said I am a woman. Whatever you want to call me is up to you. I don't like labels. Whatever you want to say.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that that's a common sentiment amongst women these days, especially that it feels almost like the feminist movement has gotten such bad press, if you will, in the past. That a lot of people are just like, I'm just for ensuring that other women who are growing up don't have to go through the same struggles that I had gone through. And I want to make a better world, a more equal or equitable world for these younger girls growing up in areas where they maybe do not have any leverage or anyone advocating for them. But as far as I'm concerned, that's a feminist. That's my definition. Now, I do want to go back a little bit to Africa Connect, and just to tie it into what we've been discussing is that on the website it says that Africa Connect is convinced that in order to achieve dignity for all Africans, we must ensure respect for all human rights. So could you just talk us a little bit through about what you mean and what you want to see around that sentiment?
Um, I will use the whole African continent as an example right now. If you are watching if you're on a social media, you watch the news, you see what is going on in the continent of Africa.
Yeah.
Every day, the government violates citizens' human right there. There is, like, people like you and myself that is in the media, we can really get accurate accountability of what is going on in African continent, because there is no really press, freedom of press there. They don't have it. Every day, the African government violates human beings, human right, their human right. They violate their human right. They just abuse citizens of the country. Take the Lekki shooting as for example. When that happened, the government of Lagos denied ever even sending the inviting the army to a peaceful protest. They denied it. They will never be held accountable. So we wanted to make sure that as African country, we wanted to make sure that we highlight this human rights violations of the African countries, that people, the international community might see it and hold them accountable for violating citizens' human rights, killing their own citizens. This happen every day. And when you see what is going on in Nigeria right now, they say in every war, women are always they are always left behind. I will tell you, I have families in Benin City. Today, the Benin City is on fire. Nobody is talking about it. Nobody is sharing light on what is going on in Benin City, where I come from. People are not able to leave their house. Yesterday, I called my friend in Benin that wasn't able to leave her house because she was hearing gunshots. She was scared of leaving her house. So how are people supposed to know what is going on if we don't have people like yourself and me giving them voices? That is what African Connect is intending to do here, by giving voices to this atrocity that the African continent, the government of African continents is committing every day. But we are not able to do it because we are shut out of the media is shut out when they are doing this, when they are committing their atrocity. The media, they are not giving the full picture of what is going on. So I believe that we would keep trying and make sure that the governments of Africans are being held accountable for violating people's human rights. So this is what African Connect is all about: giving voices for those who have no voice to speak for themselves, and making sure that people see what is going on in Africa continent.
And I will have to agree with you that the lack of accountability is really proven to be an issue, especially just looking at what's happening in Nigeria this year alone. That there just seems to be, just from the fact that there were people in positions of power who could have helped their constituents by providing, food for them during the lockdown stage of the pandemic, and instead hoarded that food and were distributing it for their own personal use. It seems that there wasn't much accountability held there. And it's just the daily occurrences that we see of human rights violations. I mean, we hear so many stories of little girls being killed for things that that's not their fault for. And
Yeah,
there isn't
women
much.
are being raped.
Yeah.
Right now, women in Benin City, women are being raped. Women are being beaten, being raped, because there is no form of government showing up for them. And I know they just had an election there. There is a governor that they just sworn in the governor almost a week ago. And we've been hearing the same story about the governor deploying soldiers to make sure that the country, the city is safe. But as I speak to you, there is still no peaceful or whatever. Or the police refuse to work because they believe they say the hooligans, they burn down their precinct. The police they are refusing to work. So how do you even, where do you start from when it comes to Africa? Where do you even start from? When I say African Connect, I didn't even know that I have as a young girl growing up in that town. I didn't even know that we have anything called government, because the only form of government that I see in, we are in Canada. We know there is a government system here through the social program they have, through so many things that the government of Canada is able to give to the citizen here. We didn't have that. We didn't know there is a government system that works in Nigeria. The only time I saw my government was every 4 years that they were running for election. They just come, give us food, and go. That was it. That was the only form of government that I know. That was it. So it is something that we all have to keep using our voices to speak to, and make sure that the people, the international community, know that there is something going on in Africa, that they have to really add their voices as well, hold the government of Africa accountable for violating human citizens' human rights.
Now, just to bring it back to the topic of feminism, I just want to say that there are different waves of feminism, you know, from the beginning of the feminist movement to now. I know you don't like using the term feminist or using any labels, but just for the purpose of this discussion, we're going to define the stage of feminism we're technically in currently, and that is the fourth wave. And it's essentially the fourth way is essentially justice for women in opposition to sexual harassment and violence against women. That has been the main focus of this new wave of feminism, which we see a lot happening with the rise of social media. We see, you know, the hashtag Me Too movement. There was the Time's Up movement for Hollywood. Where we even see it a little bit more with like Black Lives Matter, though that's overall in general, but it started with with it in mind to also protect Black women who have been brutalized as well and don't receive as much recognition, oftentimes not as many headlines in the news as, you know, Black men would if they have dealt with police brutality, for example. But this new wave of feminism has kind of brought on this power and this voice for women to speak out against sexual-based violence, which is something that, you know, we want to see happening across the world, because for so long there have been so many communities being taken advantage because there isn't anyone speaking up or advocating for those who are voiceless, quote unquote, within those communities. What would you say about this new wave, if you will, of feminism?
It's about time. I would say it's about time that women speak up.
Yeah.
It's about time women hold the men doing this atrocity accountable for their actions. It's about time. I think we are too late to the occasion. I would say we are too late, because in my mother's lifetime, my mother's generation, they didn't have anything about women's rights. They didn't have all that, and for this generation to be able to do what we when like you said, Me Too movement is something that I have been, we all have been longing for, because this is too late. We are too late to the occasion. I feel that and being able to even speak up, being able to hold a man accountable for what they have done to you, speak to the atrocity that have been committed to your body. I will use this as an example to you. It's still happening to today in Nigeria. As a woman that have a degree, if you have a degree in Nigeria, you are a woman. If you still don't sleep with a man, you're not going to get a job. It still happens till today in Nigeria.
Yeah.
I don't care how, but there's so many things that goes on in Nigeria that nobody, not just Nigeria, in Africa, nobody talk about. Like a woman having a good certificate from school, being a graduate and all that, going to an office to look for a job. As a man being in a position to give you that job, the first thing they will tell you is they will look at you the way you dress, or they will look at you. The first thing, they want to sleep with you before they give you that job, even when you're qualified, overqualified for that job. Those are craziness that still goes on in Nigeria. I believe that we have the women, we haven't accomplished enough when it comes to gender equality. We are still way behind, because I would love to see more women in power. I would love to see more women in politics, sitting in the table, making decisions for women, for not just women, making decisions. I believe that when the table is equal, the decision making, in especially in the African community, I think it will be a lot better when it's not just in all men sitting in the table making decisions that affect a whole country.
So then why do you think
the
it's
situation will
taking?
be a little more better than there. So I applaud everybody that is part of this movement, and I hope we can do more. when it comes to women's rights, when it comes to gender equality.
Yeah.
I believe that we can all do more.
So why do you think it is taking so long for us to, really mobilize and make these changes, and why we haven't seen a female? This is Kamala Harris. Let's start there. First female VP in the United States history. Why do you think that it's taken so long to embrace the idea that women can be in power?
So
why not?
I will go back to during the Hillary Clinton's nomination. You could People thought that the US. I told my friends, I'm like, the US is not, they are not ready for
Yeah.
women, a woman's
That's
president
true.
yet. They are not ready. They just believe they are ready. They are not ready. This it was a lip service they were doing. Was lip service, saying women's right. You could tell even how many glass ceiling that they've shattered or whatever. We said, oh, we have 20 million cracks on that ceiling. It was still not shattered. But what happened to her? It wasn't because Hillary was what, like, they called her whatever name they called her. It wasn't because of her policy. It wasn't because of her being anything. When it comes to, the people said, oh, because of her ways, and when it comes to the criminal bill, she supported her husband. It was just because she was a woman. That was why Hillary Clinton, she lost that election. But coming to Kamala Harris, which I'm over the moon for, I believe why she got it, because a man nominated her again. That is the whole. That is just. That's my belief. I believe because she's under a man. That was why people gave her the pass.
So she
To
had the
be
male
honest,
approval.
this generation, I don't know if they are ready yet, but I believe that we have to push more to be ready. I will give you. I still go back to my favorite woman, Mandela Cooper. If you, she's a woman leader in Liberia. She is mobilizing right now for women to be elected in the Senate in Liberia. She's putting up a lot of fight there, because I believe that when we start being in, when we start sitting at the same table as men, start making the decision, the policies that affect everybody, that the conversation would be changing. And people go back to social media again. They say, women, we are quick to take off our clothes. When you go to the social media, I'm one that would say, I'm going to go there. I'm one that would say to you that I think we women, we do too much.
Okay, you know what? Let's hold on that thought, because that we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, but we're gonna take a quick commercial break before we do get there. So yes, we'll be right back. Take care. Do you believe you could host an entertaining, engaging, and thoughtful weekly show? Or are you a business person or entrepreneur interested in building a brand for yourself? Can you connect with an audience and have strong social media skills? If so, the GBCam Network would love to invite you to join our team. We're looking for driven, genuine folks who are willing to work hard as an independent broadcaster. If this sounds like you, come join our team. For more information, email your resume to career@gbkm.fm. That is career, CAREER, at gbkm.fm. It's time to turn your passion into a career. Do you believe you could host an entertaining, engaging, and thoughtful weekly show? Or are you a business person or entrepreneur interested in building a brand for yourself? Can you connect with an audience and have strong social media skills? If so, the GBCam Network would love to invite you to join our team. We're looking for driven, genuine folks who are willing to work hard as an independent broadcaster. If this sounds like you, come join our team. For more information, email your resume to career@gbkm.fm. That is career, CAREER, at gbkm.fm. It's time to turn your passion into a career. Do you believe you could host an entertaining, engaging, and thoughtful weekly show? Or are you a business?
Do you know who you are? What is your name?
Sometimes you wonder why and wonder how. Don't be alone. Just
Hello and welcome back to the Chat Up Show. I'm your host Elizabeth Aloyde, and today we've had a very special guest on the show. We've had Omodede, who is the host of the Omodede Show here on the GBKM network, and we've been discussing feminism and whether feminism in its modern stage wave is toxic. And before we went on a break, we were talking about the importance of having more women with a seat at the table, but within that same breath, how are we as women also, presenting ourselves to the world? And something that I do want to talk about is the rise of social media and the rise of body positivity as well as a movement on social media, where women of different sizes and shapes feel comfortable and empowered to show off their bodies. Now, there's one woman, Miss Tiwa Savage, who is a Nigerian artist, who posted these images on her social media at the beginning of the month. And she added the caption talking about how she was embracing this towel series, if you will. Also talking about her latest album that was released earlier in the summer. So maybe this was an opportunity for her to bear all and, promote her new music. Or this was her showing that she is 40 and fabulous. Now, Alma, you had an opinion about this image that I like to play for our viewers at home right now on your show last week. So I want you guys to take a look at how our special guest felt about these images.
Because there's so many of you that said, because of our tradition, that wasn't appropriate. But to me, let me tell you what I think about that picture. I think she has a talent. She's a talented artist. She didn't need to do this. That's my opinion. I don't think that she needed to pose, that she needed to take that picture because she's a beautiful and talented queen. She didn't need all this. She was fine the way she is. This picture, to me, this is my opinion, she didn't really need it. So that is what I think.
Okay, so now let's get into your opinion just a little bit more. Now, you mentioned culturally as an African woman and being so talented that she doesn't need to do this. She doesn't need to bear all, if you will, on Instagram. So do you still stand by that opinion? Have you had a change of heart? How do you still feel about that?
I still stand by what I said because, like I said before, she's a talented artist. Mm-hmm. She's when it comes to music, she's when you say on top of her game, she is. Mm-hmm. So as women, people say culture, our culture.
Sorry,
Africans, we do have culture. White people, they don't have really culture, but we Africans, we have culture. There are some really, really stupid cultures that we have that I always say we have to get it off. Mm-hmm. But one thing I still believe that women, we have to be, no, I'm not saying resilient. Our body is there is our body is just too beautiful and too powerful for us to bear all out there. That's my mm-hmm. opinion, because when you go to social media today, what we as women are doing to our body it didn't start now. It started way back from music video vixen, music video days when it started shooting music videos, rap videos, when you see girls shaking their booty and men throwing money on it, Mm-hmm. I always see that as offensive. I want a man to, why can men do that as well? I have always seen that as offensive. I have never ascribed to that, to say a woman is so common right now. It's not even common. It's something that for you to get a follower on the social media, so many women believe that we have to take off our clothes. We have to take off our panties. Have you seen social media lately?
Yes.
Have you seen the way we women are bearing everything out? Mm-hmm. I know so many women think that is powerful. I'm comfortable with my body. Honey, you can be comfortable with your body, wearing clothes, covering up. People will still see you as sexy. You don't have to bear it all out for everybody to feel that you're sexy. Everybody knew Tiwa Savage was powerful before this. She has always been a powerful girl, powerful woman. Bearing all out don't mean that you are powerful. No, I don't believe that makes you all powerful. What is the power there? I don't understand. I'm trying to understand it. Like, what is the power in there for them? I don't
Okay.
understand.
Okay, maybe this might help. Like, when women reach a certain age, society tells them that they have to look a certain way. When you're 40, you need to start looking like you are a deaconess at church or something. That you can't embrace, the sexy part of you anymore once you reach a certain age. And I see these images as her saying, listen, I'm 40, but I'm still young, full of life. Granted, I personally would not post images like this or even take them to post on social media. However, a lot of people see this as part of her embracing her natural body, embracing the woman she's grown into be. Do you not see that other side of it as well?
No, I don't. Because if she, I don't see it. If she was wearing a dress, a fitted dress, and still whatever to take that picture, it would still look the same to me. She would still be that powerful Tiwa Savage to me.
Yeah.
She would still look the same to me. I would not take anything away. I'm not still taking anything away from her doing that. No, that's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying that she didn't need all that. But I'm trying to what I'm trying to say is we Africans, we always intend to go overboard. We always intend to do things when you start doing things, we do it excessively. We overdo it, then it become really trashy. We do it, it become really stupid. My fear is there are so many young girls right now in Africa that think that is okay, bearing everything all out. But Africans, they don't know how to. She did it now. Yeah, she's still covered up. The next girl will not cover up. I'm telling you, that's Africans. They will not cover up, bear everything all out. I don't believe a woman needs to show all her body to make a statement to say I'm powerful. I am not 20 that I used to be anymore. If you think that I'm not powerful or I am not sexy, that's your opinion. Honey, when I come out looking all dressed, you know who is talking, you know who is walking because I am as powerful as I can be with with my dress on, fitted all. I love don't get me wrong, go. I love tight dresses. My dresses have to always cling to all my figure for me to wear a dress. But to bail all out, I will not do that. Not because I'm
It takes
ashamed
a
of my
certain sense of
body.
confidence to bear
What?
it. It takes a certain level of confidence to be able to come out and bear it all and show the world. There are people who have built an empire on this. Like, look at the
That is not
Kardashians.
that is their confidence. I'm sorry for them to really believe that that will make them be that is confident. To me, it is not. To me, I don't see it as confident. I will be confident with my clothes on. I'm still confident at any point of my life. That will not take anything out of me because I believe for you to come and see my body is too powerful, honey. My body is too powerful for me to show out there.
Yeah.
No.
The body is a temple at the end of the day, right? You do everything to take
But
care
have
of
you?
it, protect it.
I want to say to you. Have you seen girls on social media these days?
Yeah. This is common imagery on social media these days. Honestly, it wasn't even shocking when I saw it. That after watching her show, I had to double back and look back at it, and I was like, oh, I didn't even notice that she was this scantily clad. But even then with Tiwa Savage, I mean, it's not like she wears that much while she's on stage. And this isn't the first time she's received any kind of backlash because, when she was performing with WizKid, people felt that their behavior on stage was inappropriate. But then it's also thinking that she is a performer, she's an entertainer. They're constantly pushing the limits. They're constantly pushing to see how far they can go, get people talking, be entertaining, be the performers that they are. So would you say that there's maybe a different standard for her as a performer and yes, she's a public figure, but at the same time, she's a figure that's, larger than life and we see her constantly performing, singing, being the talented beauty she is, but also in a certain way, as opposed to, someone who's running for
No,
office.
there's no. I'm not going to judge. I didn't judge. Judge her any way that I will not judge anybody. I don't think there's a different standard for her because people forget that Beyonce is not from Africa. Let's call it what it is. They are Americans. That's what they grew up seeing. We didn't grow up seeing all this, honey.
Yeah.
We did not. We are just adapting to the culture that we see in America and every other places. That's what we're adapting to. But we forget that we come from somewhere that we grew up with different set of culture, different sort of mindset than these people do. I'm holding her on the ground that she grew up differently than Beyonce. She's not Beyonce. She can never be Beyonce, honey. But like I said before, she could have still been as powerful as she is, dressed all sexy with all her clothes on. Then that she can still always be. She was savage. For God's sake, that name, her voice alone. She has a beautiful voice. She's talented. She's a good dancer. She was everything. I don't want. I am still trying to get the message she was trying to send through that picture, saying she's confident. That to me is you are less unsure of yourself. Any woman that would think that taking off their clothes because they feel that their body is this, you are even less of sure of yourself than
Yeah.
forming you are confident. That's not confident, honey. That is not.
It's definitely, it's definitely a cultural thing. But then, as we know, there is always a market for these images. It sells. As far as we're concerned, a lot of the stuff that we're seeing, a lot of the imagery we're seeing, commercials on social media, on TV, a lot of it is, the sexy image, the bombshell image of a woman. Now we're seeing it, the curvaceous woman now, because I guess the Kardashians made that popular. This is what is selling and has been for quite a while, the shocking imagery that is like, whoa.
And I am looking forward to the day sex don't sell.
It doesn't
Trust
sell
me,
anymore.
I know the number one thing that sells in life is sex. I know that, obviously, I know that, but I still believe that there is still a big place for a big forum for the girls, a powerful woman that has a voice that don't need to beg it all out. I still
Yeah.
believe that she will still make the same point than any woman that is known that is bare naked. I will stand anywhere Beyonce or Tiwa Savage stand. I can still stand there without not even getting my body all out there. I believe my body is even better than all their body. Just that it's too powerful for me to show.
Yes.
It's too powerful for me to show. That's why. It's just too powerful for me.
I love that. But do you think that images like this and seeing women who are constantly flaunting their bodies is hindering the movement in terms of, just even like positivity around women and not being overly sexualized? Because that is also an issue in the media, is the over-sexualization
Absolutely.
of women's bodies. And so then we keep seeing images like this, and then it's like, well, women feel comfortable showing their bodies, so why are you so worried about it?
Absolutely. I I think I don't know if it's Peru. There was just a rape case that the judge threw out, and a woman judge threw two cases out because the men claimed that the women were showing their red underwear, their red panties. That means they were signaling for rape. I don't believe that. I don't support that. I don't believe any woman,
Yeah.
any man has the right to rape any woman, no matter what she's wearing. I don't believe that. But what I believe is the way we women have portrayed ourselves, the way we have degraded I feel that's my opinion. Whoever that is watching that can say, what is she talking about? I think we women, we have degraded ourselves so much that sometimes like the movement is a joke. You can't be talking about, in one hand, talking about women's rights and a woman wearing just only one under with no panties, shaking her butt in the camera. I don't understand what is so sexual about that. What is so powerful about that? What is the message? Okay, when you do that, what is the message to that? The movement has been halted because of so many images like that. The way we women have portrayed ourselves, the way we have sold ourselves so as sometimes I can't find words to even explain how I feel when I go on social media. All I keep seeing is a woman's breast, a woman's butt, a woman's this. I get so confused. And women like us that we not really do that. Sometimes I feel that we don't have space anymore because we are not willing to do that. We they don't women don't train to, if you're not naked you don't train, if you're not naked you don't get followers. So many women lose value on valuable message like you that will talk about a girl's child's protection, or you want to say something about women's right.
Yeah.
You Nobody will listen to. It's not everybody that will sit there and listen to you if you're not naked. Trust me, you see the way you're covered up, looking all beautiful and powerful, the way you're sitting right now. So many people will see you and like, oh, because how many viewers you think you are gonna get in how many minutes? How many viewers? You think if you were wearing just only a tube top with a panties, do you know how many men will be subscribing to your show? You know how many men? So that's not a message I want to get behind. The movement has been halted by so many things that we women do to the movement.
I hear that, but it's important not to like teeter on the edge of we're blaming the women for actions of others. Like, for example, if a woman wants to post these images on social media, nothing has the right for anybody to harass her in any way, shape, or form. She was the one consented to posting these images. So what someone then comes and does, it's not because she posted those images or that she did it. It's because it's within you to do that anyway, that you're going to do it regardless of whether you're seeing this image of Tiwa Savage and you see her somewhere on the street and you want to harass her. It doesn't justify that harassment.
If a woman posts naked on social media inappropriately, if I want to comment on it and want to say what is that, I have the right to do it because she's giving me room to do that. She put it out there so I can say anything I want to say. If she didn't, I can say anything and I want to say to it because my belief is that I don't believe a woman should be doing. We women should be doing all
Shouldn't
that.
be doing it anyway.
We are doing too much. I feel that women, we are doing too much. So if you are ready to get naked on social media, so be ready for any comment that comes with it.
You don't think it's helping to like desensitize us towards these images? So like the more we see, the less freaky it is that it's like it's a naked woman's body. You don't see that side of it?
No, because still till now I was watching Davido's video, the new video he just released. I was watching it the other day. This is 2020. I was seeing women with underwear shaking their like twerking to the ground, just kind of like twerking to just ordinary ground holding, and men pouring drinks on them, laughing. Like,
Yeah.
to me, that is insulting to me. And when you looked at all the men, they were all clothed. They were all wearing shirt and a little pants. They were wearing something. They were clothed. Why do we have to be the one taking off our clothes to shake our butt all the time?
Let's
Have
flip
you not
it.
ever? Why do we have to be the one doing that?
Let's have the men do it now.
Let's have them
Yeah,
do that.
let's
Let me
flip
pour
it.
a drink on you. You shake your butt for me.
Spray the
I pour
money.
a drink on you. I spray you money. Then maybe the conversation. Why? This is 2020. We are still doing that. I know that that's what people want to see all the time on video, but I feel it's degrading to me.
Yeah.
Seeing a woman just shaking her butt, a man pouring drinks on her, putting money on her. How much is that? How much are they putting on your ass? Come on now. I don't. I will never. I don't care how people see it and say, oh, and you, because of what you said, people are kind of saying. I don't care whatever you say. I don't believe that we women should be doing that. 2020. No. Let the men take off their clothes. Let them take off their panties and shake whatever they have.
Like
I
we've
give
progressed
you
as a society past the need to be degrading women for entertainment, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's another way the society has brought women too, like the way we have portrayed ourselves too. You talked about Kim Kardashian. What did she do to be famous? It wasn't for any other, for sex. Now she's one of the most powerhouse in the media
Yeah.
because of sex. So tell me, the girl that wants to now she's trying to turn. Why is she trying to turn herself around, her life around again? Have you not ever thought about that? She went back to school.
Well, I
She's
mean, she
doing
said
law
she's getting
now, trying.
older. Even recently, when she turned 40, she was saying that she doesn't feel that she should be posting these, naked-y looking pictures as much anymore because she's a 40-year-old mother of four. So it feels almost
So
weird to
if
her
she's
to be
a
doing
4 year old
that.
mother of four,
Yeah.
so why is she saying that? Because she feels that her kids shouldn't be seeing her like that, right? She knows that there is something wrong, right?
I guess
She
so.
have seen that there is something wrong with that. So why are we being, I don't want to be a political correct when I say, oh, women, we should be. No, I am not going to subscribe. I will not subscribe to everybody saying we shouldn't be saying that. Yes, a woman has to be comfortable with her body. A woman can be comfortable with her body clothed. You can be as powerful. I will always say that you can be as powerful wearing a dress fitted that will show all your beauty than just burying it all out for everybody to put money, people to follow you. I have never seen a message. If I have never seen a positive message that goes with that. Have you seen? So why can't you wear? Why are you all clothed with your beautiful black turtleneck? Why can't you just wear a two piece? And why?
Well, because my mama will kill me if I come on here with a two-piece, number one, but also number two,
Okay.
cultural tradition, religious, everything, all of that mixed into one. And also just personally, I personally will not be out there in the streets as, scantily clad as some of the other ladies, just because that's not my personal style. But then it's also understanding that maybe that's the way that they're expressing themselves and how they are coming into their own as a woman. Granted, it's not my taste, but I also understand and recognize that it's part of their movement in terms of womanhood and figuring out womanhood too.
What movement is that?
Personal liberation, personal empowerment. You don't agree? No. Oh wow!
No,
This has been
we should be
great.
doing our personal liberation empowerment by speaking to issues that affect our everyday life. We should be speaking on issues that best support how a child can go to school, how a child can have food on the table. Do you know how many likes people get by getting naked? Do you know how many kids die every day of hunger in Africa? Do you know how many girls just we all flaunt our purses, our designer this, designer that. Half of the African community, African countries, young boys and girls, we Nigeria rates 173 in the world education. We are like three way behind. That's Nigeria. We are way behind in poverty. In everything, we are way behind. We should be talking about issues that affect our life, that would really put positivity into our life, that will help children go to school, that will help a child not being abused, that will help a child get a better healthcare system in Africa.
Yeah.
In my hometown, currently we are doing a GoFundMe campaign to repair a hospital. That is the issue that we should be talking about. That is the issue we should be dealing with. Not me trying to get myself naked on the social media for people to like me. No, that is not important. It's not going to change anybody's life.
Yeah.
Issues that will change people's life. They are all there. People are dying of starvation every day. Children can't afford to go to school. People are scared of leaving their house. Africa needs security. Africa needs more women in power to change the conversation, to make policy that better reflects everybody. That a woman has the right to her body, but we have to respect that body. We are saying we have the right to. We have to respect it. That's the issues we should be talking about,
Yeah.
of solving hunger, of solving education, of solving good hospitals in different communities. That's what we should be talking about.
And these are
Not
some
women
of
getting naked and saying that is their power. That is not giving them any power. I'm sorry.
Now, these are some of the issues that you also discuss on your show, the Omodede Show, which airs live every Friday here on the GBKM network at 10:30 a.m. ET. So before we go, could you give us a little exclusive tidbit of what to look out for this week's show, what to look out for the future of the Omodede
Oh my
Show?
God. Okay. So
Yes.
aligned to what we've been talking about, my social talk, I'm going to give my social talk out. So my social talk this week is going to be same, just like what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Because as a woman I am African blooded, curved, beautiful woman, you know? I was made fun of growing up because I have curves. I have this, I have big mouth, I have big ass. I was made fun of sometimes. This is not. I'm not joking. I used to hit my butt on the wall because they told me that if I hit my butt on the wall, it will go back. So I used to hit my butt on the wall
Wow.
just because I wanted my butt to go back.
Wow.
I am not joking. So I'm going to be talking about that. You're going to hear more on that this week on social talk.
I'm excited for that. Yes, I'm looking forward to that conversation. Well, thank you so much, Omo, for joining me today and having this very candid discussion about femininity, feminism, female empowerment, and what it truly means to empower yourself as a woman in this day and age. And though we may have some different views on what body positivity looks like, I think we can agree that we do want more women in power, and it's time that we start seeing more equality and advocacy for equity in areas that are none across the world, and especially on our home continent of Africa. Thank you so much again for being on the Chatt Show today.
And thank you for looking all beautiful this morning.
Thank you. You too. We really brought it today, didn't we?
No, I
did what we had to do.
I love whatever you're rocking. That I am going to steal that whatever you have on your neck. I want it.
You can have it anytime.
That
You can
is so
borrow it. Don't
pretty.
worry. Thank you so much. And with that, that concludes our show today, the Chatt Up Show. As always, it has been so great chatting it up with you all today, watching from home. Again, you can always keep up with the GBKM network by watching and listening live 24/7 at www.gbkm.fm or www.gbkm.tv. We will also be having our app coming soon, so look out for that, the GBKM app. So stay tuned to know when that is available to get in the app stores and Google Play stores. Again, follow us on Instagram at GBKMFM and Twitter at GBKM_FM. And again, our Chatt Up Show sponsors, Coded Signature. You can go check out codedsignature.com, that's coded with a K, or on Facebook and Instagram, Coded Signature, and use the GBKM code at checkout for 10% off. And you can follow me, your host, Elizabeth Aloyde, on Twitter and Instagram at TIS_Liz_O. And I can't wait to chat it up with you at the same time, same place next week. Take care.
GBKM TV, the station with a vision. GBKM TV, the station with a difference now. Slim Flex said so. Big up Ghana.
Person or entrepreneur interested in building a brand for yourself. Can you connect with an audience and have strong social media skills? If so, the GBKM network would love to invite you to join our team. We're looking for driven, genuine folks who are willing to work hard as an independent broadcaster. If this sounds like you, come join our team. For more information, email your resume to career@gbkm.fm. That is career, CAREER, @gbkm.fm.